Also, so I had the job interview, no, I'm just kidding. I went over for the job interview, and they were like busy when I got there. They told me, "We got you a job interview for 2 o'clock." Okay, so I went to Burger King to charge my phone like every single day, and I realized they were short staffed. So today I asked them, I was like, "Are you guys hiring? You seem short staffed." And she's like, "Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely hiring. Here's the card. Go to this website, fill it out." So I went to the website, everything got all filled out. Well, I did it for the wrong location. So they were like, "We didn't see it," because I asked them later. They're like, "We didn't see it." So um, I went on there, redid it for their location. I had to call the other store and tell them, "Hey," because they told me, they're like, "Hey, call that other store and tell them." So I did, and they sent all the information over to the correct store. And then they were like, "We got you a job interview at 2 o'clock today." And I was like, "Okay, great." So I show up at 2 with my nice new clothes and pants and shoes and everything. I didn't buy new shoes. I had shoes that I got from Amazon for free when I worked at Amazon, the Zappos thing. And I never wore them, but they're slip resistant. And that's why I chose them, was because I was like, well, they're work shoes, and I might end up being in a work environment that needs slip resistant shoes. So I grabbed those, put those on. They're nice. They're Converse looking. Anyways, grab my phone charger, everything. Got new clothes on, everything. Walk up there. It's like 10 minutes away. So I get up there. It's like 2 o'clock. I was like 5 minutes till 2. I tell them I'm there. She's like, okay. And I sit down, and all of a sudden it got really busy. So I'm just sitting there, letting my phone charge, playing on my phone. About an hour later, she comes over and she's like, "I'm sorry, but we're just really busy. I don't think we're gonna be able to do it today." And now, about 5 minutes before she walked over, I was thinking, "Oh, it finally let up." When she came over, I thought she's like, "Okay, it finally let up. Now we can do our interview." And she's like, "It's just too busy with just three of us here. We can't do it. Can you come back on Tuesday?" And I'm thinking, okay, whatever. So anyways, rescheduled for Tuesday, and I was like, well, now I'm hungry, so I went on ahead and got on the app and ordered a Impossible Whopper. That takes a little while for them to make it. It's not one of those things that's like just ready. So sometimes it takes them quite a while. Sometimes it just takes them like 10 minutes. So I put in my order and everything, and I'm sitting there still. And one of the workers, like, she didn't say anything, but like she almost said something about me sitting there in the lobby, because they're constantly loitering, 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 loitering. Now, the thing is, the whole time I was waiting for the job interview, there was this man in there that would just randomly walk up to people who were trying to eat their meal and then just talk to them for like literally the whole hour I was there about like Jesus and conspiracy theories and this and that. And you can tell the person is just really being nice, but they don't want to have to deal with this. They're trying to leave and get out of it without being like, freaking the guy out or pissing him off or something, because he just seems like he probably would, be a little bit crazy. So, anyways, yeah, like, they ignored him, and, like, he even talked to some of the employees. He's like, "Are you so and so?" And the guy's like, "No, that's not me." He's like, "You look like so and so." And he's like, "That's not me, sir." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he walks over to someone else, and he's like, "Do you know so and so?" And she's like, "I don't know that person." And he's like, "Okay." And, like, both of those were employees that he spoke to, and neither one of them was, like, doing anything, "Sir, you're loitering, there's a time limit of 30 minutes and you've been here." Like, he'd been there within a conversation with the person when I had got there, so who knows how long he'd been there before I got there. But like I said, I was there for an hour, and they have a 30-minute limit on, like, how long you can take to eat your food there. So, anyways, yeah. But then, yeah, she's like, "Since there's three of us here," but then that guy talked to the girl who was sitting behind me, and she's like, "Oh, I work here, sir," because he actually said to her, "I don't think they'll let you just sit over here and play on your laptop." And she goes, "Oh, I'm doing homework." And he's like, "Yeah, but they're not gonna let you sit over here and play on your laptop." And she's like, "I work here, sir. They let me stay over here and do my homework because I'm about to start work in 2 hours." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, do you know so and so?" And she's like, "No, sir, I don't." And then he starts talking about, "Do you know what they do to women in Russia?" And sometimes he would like mumble where I really couldn't hear him. I don't know if she could hear him or not, but the whole time you could just tell she was just like, "Okay, yeah, haha, yeah," and it was trying to play along. But every time she would try to play along, he would get pissed off. So like, he was like making these weird like dad joke kind of things, And then he's like, oh, listen, I want to tell you, I'm not trying to flirt with you or anything. And she's like, oh, that's okay. You got a lot of dad jokes. And, she kind of giggled or whatever. And he's like, what? What do you mean? And she's like, I just mean you're funny. You have a lot of jokes. And he's like, yeah, ha 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 ha. And then it was just super creepy. And yeah, I don't really know. So um but yeah, so if they had two employees coming in and one employee had went on a break and he was coming back and the rush just ended, why can't we do the interview today? Why can't I just wait until they go on shift or something? It was only like an hour or something like that. But no, come back on Tuesday. Today's Thursday, so come back on Tuesday. Okay. So yeah, like I said, I ordered my sandwich, and then that one worker was like looking at me like she's about to say something. And then that same worker, when I went up to the counter to get my order, was trying to argue with me because she was like, obviously could hear me because the people who were standing behind her having a conversation could hear me and could understand me. And she just kept going, what? The what? What? And like, I'm like, I ordered online for so and so. And she's like, hmm? And I pointed at the bag. I'm like, I ordered online for so and so. And she's like, what? And they like roll their eyes, like they could tell she's bullshitting. And they pick up the bag and they read the name. And I'm still telling her over and over again because she's still like, what? And then they're like, is it this one? And they hand it to me. And I'm like, yeah. And so she takes it before I could take it because they're trying to hand it to me. And she looks at the name and then she looks at the computer screen and she's like looking up at the screens up there and then she's like, who is it for? And they're all like, they said the name again. And then she looks at me and she goes, but who is it for? And so I said the name and she's like, and you ordered this online? And I'm like, yes. And so the employee that was going to interview me like snatched it from her hands and handed it to me. And I was like, thank you. But the employee that was going to interview me, she was more concerned about the fact that my name for the app is different than my like legal name that I was coming in applying with. Yeah. She was like looking at the name and looking at me like, what? But yeah, the other employee, I don't know what her deal was. And another thing I've noticed is that like I'll be in I guess it's just like the homeless people in the area kind of are right here in this section. But like I'll go in somewhere and somebody will just be like minding their own business, eating their food, and then somebody else will get up and they'll have like half a soda left or something. And instead of just like pouring it out and throwing away the cup or just throwing away the whole thing, whether or take it with you, maybe. Guess what they would do instead? Just guess. Just think. Well, what other options are there? Did they throw it on the floor? No. Did they throw it on the ground? No. What do they do with it? Can't think of anything else, can you? They offer it up to a random stranger. I always ignore them. I always like try to give body language of like, do not speak to me. I'm not speaking to you. So they've never offered me anything. I don't think. I think maybe like they catch you off guard sometimes because like you'll just be like sitting there and they'll just like stare at you and you look at them and they're like, hey, do you want this? It's like, no thanks. But yeah, it's just really odd. And like one guy was like arguing with the girl. He was like, hey, do you want the rest of this? And she's like, oh, no thanks, I don't drink soda, I just drink water. And she's like, yeah, soda's really bad for you, you should drink water, not soda. And that, that's kind of like her whole point. And he's like, well, I'll put water in for you if you want water. And she's like, oh, no thanks, you're really nice, but no thank you. And he's like, oh, you sure you don't want it? She's like, no thanks. And then he's like, look, I don't have anything that you're gonna catch, blah 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 blah, do I look like the type of person, blah 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 blah, you don't know me, blah blah blah, I'm a good person, blah blah blah. And she's just like, yeah, like, I've made videos about this before, talking about this side of the city needs mental health services that are not being provided for whatever reason. So I've heard the VA is local and they're pretty bad. The guys there are pretty bad. So, and then I've heard people say, well, that's not really the VA and they need to take the VA's name off of that, and what they're doing is not up to, like what the VA would allow and that kind of thing. I don't know anything about it. I've been told don't go there. I've been told go to a different place. So, who knows? I'm okay. I'm tired, and I wish I had money, and my phone is breaking. But if my phone breaks, I don't have the path to One Door memorized, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I have the path to Burger King memorized. That's pretty easy. And there's another place hiring too, in between here and Burger King. I thought about stopping in there because I have my nice clothes on, but anyways, yeah, the one girl that works at Burger King, she likes me, and like every time I go in there to charge my phone, she's always like, "Oh hey," don't say my name and stuff. So I guess it's gonna rain. I don't know what I'm gonna do about dinner. I thought about getting something from Walmart before my phone breaks. But it's kind of being weird and glitchy, so it'd be kind of a risk to go in there and then it not work. Dun dun dun. But yeah, I went in earlier, bought this shirt, bought these pants. I was hoping to get the job interview, but for some reason they were like, no, which it was weird. Like, why didn't they just have me wait? But they're like, come back on this date. So. And then, yeah, I'd gotten my food and stuff, so that took a little bit of time. And I kind of thought, well, maybe this will give her some time to reflect, and then realize, oh, wait, we're slow now. We're not going to get busy again until the dinner rush starts here in a couple hours. So we have, 30 minutes to an hour of downtime. Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, more employees were coming in, so I don't know. With them being there, she could have even had somebody clock in early to be able to do my interview, but yeah, like, I don't know why she was like, well, come back on a different day. We'll see. It seems to be the most promising. Like, Walmart is nearly impossible to get on with. Like, there's all these tests and stuff. You can only apply so many times every so often, yada, yada, yada. So, I'm just trying to get on to literally anywhere or anything, I suppose, because I was hoping to get paid by Friday. That would have been nice, but oh, who knows what's going to happen, because if my phone goes down, I don't have access to my Cash App money, so I won't have any money to spend. So that's going to be pretty bad. I don't know.